East of the sun and west of the moon, we'll build a dream house of love deep, near to the sun in the day, near to the moon at night.
We're here at the Players Club in New York City, where the United States Postal Service honored Jose Ferrer on a forever stamp. Jose Ferrer is considered one of the most accomplished talents of his generation. He was a Puerto Rican actor as well as a theater and film director. Ferrer won several Tony Awards for his stage work and performed in more than 60 movies, garnering 3 Academy Award nominations. He won both a Tony Award and the Oscar for Best Actor for his role as Cyrano de Bergerac, becoming the first Hispanic to win an Academy Award. Today at the Players Club in New York City, the U.S. Postal Service honored him on a 45-cent forever stamp. And now, let's look in on some of the ceremony. Today, we have a stamp that was honored in Jose Ferrer's honor. This is his daughter, Letty Ferrer. Now tell us a little bit, how are you feeling?
Oh, so emotional today. I burst out of tears several times. I had a hard time holding it together. It's the first time all of my siblings and I have been together really since just before my dad died. So it was wonderful seeing everybody.
Now, tell us a little bit about your father.
Oh, God, what can I say? As everybody said, he was an incredible human being, most generous. People would stop him on the street. He would give everybody, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Even after doing a Broadway show, the public my daughter's waving at me. I don't know what she was saying. People were always important. He never forgot where he came from. So no matter how tired he was or whatever, he always had time to give people that little extra bit of something, as with the gentleman who said, Mr. Prince, I believe it was, said, "Walk me to my hotel." That's the kind of guy he was.
And before we end, you also have your mother was very famous, and you're from a very famous school here in New York City, HB Studio. If anybody's out there wanting to pursue the acting facilities, would you want to elaborate a little bit on your mom?
Sure. My mom was the actress Uta Hagen. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional again. She and my late stepfather founded this studio. Herbert started it in 1945, 1950, and we moved down to Bank Street in 58. And from what I'm told, we're still one of the least expensive places around for a class. You can take a class a week for about $22. And our terms are 4 terms, fall, spring, winter, and summer. And we're one of the best. The fact with the economy the way it is and everything going the way it is, and we're still holding on, and we haven't come down. So that's a lot to be said about that, too.
Well, thank you. And now your father will be traveling around the world.
Absolutely, and it's such a great picture of him, and I feel so honored that the United States Postal Service was gracious enough to give us this stamp.
Could you tell us about this moment and a little bit about your father?
My father was a great man. He was a mentor. He touched a lot of people's lives because he cared, and he wanted to give back always. And for the USPS to do this for him, how many people can say, my dad's on a stamp? That's pretty cool, I think.
And he's going to travel the world.
Yeah.
He's going to travel the world.
I think it's wonderful.
I think
it's just wonderful.
Is there a special lesson he taught you about acting or the performing arts?
Basically, I think he quoted Spencer Tracy, and he said, remember your lines and don't bump into the furniture. That's about it.
Tell us what it was like working with Jose Ferrer.
Oh, he was such an idol of mine to actually have it turn out that I'm working with him. He was just wonderful. Like I said, we did a 2-character play for 5 or 6 weeks, and it was a joy, to be on stage with him and work with him. Very selfless, generous, wonderful man, and a great talent, a great actor.
Tell us about his work ethic.
He worked, you know. Like I was telling you my story tonight, when I went to the first rehearsal, he's just sitting there with his coffee and waiting to rehearse, waiting to work, you know. And that was his most important. He was totally committed and dedicated to his work.
And how did you first run into him?
A friend of mine was directing a play, two-character play, and he lost one of his actors. And so my friend called me up and said if was I free to come on in, and they were already 3 or 4 weeks into rehearsal, and I said, of course. And then he said the other actor is going to be Jose Ferrer. And that was the story.
It's sort of overwhelming, you know, when you're working on it. We've all been working on it. You really don't know how things are going to turn out and whether people are going to respond, whether anybody's going to be as interested as we are, and it's just absolutely wonderful. So proud of the whole thing. So grateful to John here, the manager of the players, and to the lady, Clara Rodriguez, the lady who was instrumental in getting the stamp done, and we just.
Did you have any say on what photograph they used?
Did I have any say? Well, to some extent, yes. Yes. I thought perhaps it should have been something. I thought at the time, perhaps it should have been a photograph from a later photograph. But I think I was wrong, because all the things shown in the movie clips, were from that era. And so it was so easy to identify with and that photograph, as I understand it, came from something called Anything Can Happen with Kim Hunter. And the very interesting thing is that was done in 1950-52 with Kim. The photograph was used from that. And right before my husband died, he was rehearsing with Kim to do another show. It came full circle.
Customers have until June 26, 2012 to obtain the first day of issue postmark by mail. Affix the stamps to envelopes of your choice, address the envelopes to yourself or others, and place them in a larger envelope addressed to Jose Ferrer Stamp, Postmaster, 421 8th Avenue, New York, New York, 10199-9998. After applying the first day of issue postmark, the Postal Service will return the envelopes by mail. There is no charge for the postmark. All orders must be postmarked by June 26, 2012. I'm Kristal Hart reporting from the Players Club here in New York City, and thanks for watching.